find it, Dad. Well, at the championship level, your seven athletes get the total line and run the race. 5 of those factor into the scoring directly. The other 2 can offset scoring, meaning they can add points to your opponents, but it's your first 5 finishers that will tally your score. And like golf, it's a low score wins. So you want your 5 people best positioned as possible, and you have to have 5. Through the years, even recent years, we've had 4 very good that can compete with anybody in the state, but their 5th guy's 2 minutes back, and it was just making us a little better than average finisher in the squad. So we have to have 5, preferably 6, 7, 8, that you can rotate through that factor into that. So although they call it an individual sport, it's really a team sport. It's a team effort. And when the school opened up, we had 5 boys and 2 girls. We ran 1 race where we actually scored, in the first beginning. So it started very small. We had some success right away with the girls winning a state title in their first appearance at state meet in 2007. And I honestly thought, this is it, we're gonna be rolling. And it's been interesting through that. Again, we kind of found ourselves in a drought for a little while. And not that we weren't good, we're making CIF finals, we were doing things really well, but really just having that whole complete commitment to the habits and behaviors and the standards and the work that needs to be a part of this. We were 9th place last year in the state meet, which was a nice finish, it was decent. Our top 4 was one of the top 6 teams in the state, all in California, and we were right there. But a 2-minute gap is potentially 200 points and added to the score, and we want a low score. So just trying to find that right guy. It's one to have a performer. You want someone that can perform in that range, but also someone that fits into the family and the team cohesion.
So I was definitely attracted to running from a young age. Elementary school, I ran a little bit, had some early success, and my mom was like, "You should come running with me." So I ran with her around my neighborhood, different trails, and that was definitely like a fun experience growing up. I got to go to her races, I got to see like all of her medals like in her room and things like that, and definitely like inspired me from a young age like of the things that can happen.
Well, nothing really intrigued me about it. It was more my mom found out about the sport and thought I should give it a try, so I started running track in 2nd grade. I wasn't so good in elementary school or middle school, but it was very fun for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. And then in high school, I started taking it a whole lot more seriously and became better.
I don't know. I guess I've just been running my whole life, man. Ever since like I was a little kid, I was like a really hyper kid. My parents would literally just send me around the block to run before I even went to school, just to even me out. I've been running for as long as I can remember. And playing soccer too, I've been running and running. And in middle school, my parents did not want me playing football, so I just joined the cross country team because I had literally nothing better to do. And I wanted to do something after school and just build up my soccer capacity.
Love of running, it's just something that I can do. If I'm oftentimes in elementary school, my parents were working at the school, they were teachers, so they would be there for a while, and I would finish all my homework, and so I would just be running all over the place. I came to Oaks in 7th grade, and my dad suggested, "Oh, you should try cross country. I think you'd enjoy it," because it's just running. So that's where I kind of started with cross country, and then once I got to high school, I realized, yeah, these are my people. I love this stuff.
Starting out, I definitely was not a runner at all in elementary school, middle school. I did soccer, I did basketball, I even tried football in middle school and the beginning of high school. I wouldn't say I was the best at any of those sports, but I definitely was good conditioning-wise on all those sports, which was my strength. Once I joined freshman year, high school track, coach at the end of the year was like, "You have some gifts in running. You should try out for cross country in the fall, and I did that, and now we're here.
Yeah, I was gonna join freshman year, but I saw the workouts, like the summer schedule. I was like, nah. And then like sophomore year, because I did baseball freshman year, so that was like fall and spring, and I didn't want to do baseball again, so my mom made me do another sport. And I decided to do cross country because I ran a couple times around the lake, like just for fun. So I didn't think it would be too bad. And plus, I kind of needed some conditioning.
An old guy like me that's been training for a long time, there used to be people didn't train. 80s, 90s, people didn't train in the summer and still won championships. You can't do that. You got to be training year round. Teams that are unified in June win together in November, I think is the way to simplify it. You train together in June, you start the training together in June, you win together in November.
We start our season building a strong base aerobically, just doing regular runs, and then we start adding in the tempos, the hill repeats, to set that kind of framework for this really strong base, so then we can add on to that. So all summer is just tempos and hill repeats.
That base of summer training accelerates you through the postseason. You build that foundation so that you can build, and so you have that base to just kind of like push off of during the season. Running is a very emotionally draining sport, and faith is a part of our culture here.
Faith journey and running are actually kind of similar, because like with your faith journey, like as a Christian, you're gonna go through hard stuff. I mean, even just life, whether you're a Christian or not, you will go through hard stuff. But as a Christian, you're called into that. You're often called to find the good in those difficult situations. But then with running, you have to go through these tough workouts and these hard races, and you maybe don't want to do it all the time, but if you have that discipline to stay consistent, like, it'll help you. You'll find the good.
God is my biggest focus when it comes to running. I learned to like run for the glory of Him instead of just for the glory of myself or the times. Like ultimately I want to do it to honor Him and glorify Him, and so that's definitely another motivator for me as well. And anytime I've gone through an injury or things like that, I definitely give all the credit for God to getting me out of that and keeping me healthy and strong.
I think faith plays a good role in our team. We pray before every race on the starting line, which I think is important because it puts us into a mindset that, well, what we're doing is not for ourselves, especially in a team sport like cross country, but it's for the guys around us. And in the end run, God has given us a talent, and it's our job to use this talent, and through that, we're bringing glory to Him.
First race for this year was Woodbridge, so it was definitely kind of going from 0 to 100 very quickly. Since Woodbridge is such a large meet, it's 20-something states, like thousands of individuals in the race. It's just kind of a hectic environment.
Flat. It's flat and it's cold. It's like a track meet, but on grass and concrete. And those are where the fastest times in the countries of the 3-mile race are run. It's a really special place to be, and it is super fast, and you will never see PRs like that on any other course in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of the biggest, the biggest meet in the country, one of the most competitive meets in the country. It's like all flat, it's grass, a little bit of concrete, but I mean, other than that, it's pretty much a track course. It's at night, so like everything is like optimal and like built to be like the fastest as possible.
It's a very hectic start. There's hundreds of people, and it all funnels down very quickly into one turn. So I knew I had to get out fast and get in the top group pretty quickly to not get swallowed up by the mass crowd. So I think I did that pretty well.
Yoder and I, we tried to put on the pressure fast, and we built up a pretty sizable gap pretty early, and we're able to maintain that.
They had a great tandem, and tonight they're both hitting nicely. Christian Yoder and Cooper McNee. Teammates came across a 4:39 at the mile.
Yeah, it definitely adds a level of familiarity, whether it's summer training, time trials, you name it. You know, Cooper and I leading. So it was definitely fun with him there. This is nothing special. It's just get out, go hard, go together, push each other. Iron sharpens iron, whatever you want to say. We've done this before. Let's make this race a good one.
Yeah, I didn't really think. I kind of just ran.
So we're going to have our leaders coming around the bend right about now. In fact, here they come. Oh, it's Christian. Yoder and McNee. And that's how they'll finish up, going 1-2.
That was so motivating for me, like, especially like shout out to Arize, like he had a great race, sophomore. Like it was his first cross country meet, he absolutely killed it. And just seeing that like really inspired me. I'm like, okay, we have like 5 solid guys like who can really like get the job done. And that really excited me because before it was like, okay, who's gonna be our 5th man? But like seeing him really like step up the first race, I'm like, okay, I know we got dogs on the team who can really fight. So like if they're willing to do it, then like I'm willing to do it as well. Like I'm gonna give everything I have because I know I have guys with me that are gonna give everything they have. So that was motivation for me.
Once Arize joined, once we ran Woodbridge and I saw like the potential of especially our top 5 guys, I was absolutely stunned. I didn't even know that was like possible. Us being like could be the possibility of one of those very select teams. I thought it was absolutely stunning and absolutely fascinating and amazing that I could be part of a team like that could potentially win CIF and state. It's unreal.
Oh yeah, during Woodbridge, the first race, I went out with so much confidence. We go through that first mile and I'm just like, oh gosh, this sucks. This is not gonna be a good race. And then I'm holding up, I'm like, at least I got Arize beat because I knew he was behind me. And then all of a sudden this kid just like comes up behind me, runs forward and just like pushes it through the rest of the race and leaves me in the dust. And he's just been doing that every race. He just sits and then goes at the last minute. He builds instead of just going out hard like I do. He's more strategic in that sense, I guess. And he is smart and he's legit. He's a good runner.
I had had a couple conversations with Arize before he joined the team. It didn't surprise me he was as good as he was, but I didn't expect him to be as good as he was so fast. And so that was a blessing. So to be able to, before we walked into the first big contest at Woodbridge, it was evident to me that we had our quintet. And from here on out, it's training them intelligently, keeping them healthy, and keeping them progressing and being ready at the right time.
So at the start, I was kind of like, just gonna see how it goes. Like I had nothing to lose because it was my first race. No one really knew me. No one really knew what I was capable of. I didn't even know that 14:50 was like a really good time. I thought it was like a decent time.
That was more impressive. Your actual I did it? Reset, you just broke.
You broke the school record.
I think you broke the sophomore record.
The sophomore record.
Dude,
You haven't even done it like good.
Dude, oh my.
You need to like quit soccer and go to NAU or something crazy.
Oh, NAU.
After Woodbridge, I realized that we were going to be a really good team. And we were going to be really competitive because that race was like with a lot of different schools in a lot of different states. So putting up us against the competition of a lot of different states shows how good we're going to be for the future and how good we are.
Yeah, so our next race after Woodbridge was Pepper Tree, and it's a league meet, and we needed to, as a team, be either first place or second place to have a shot at winning the Marmonte League Finals, which is a pretty big goal for us since boys cross country is only one of 3 sports in the school to not have won a league title in school history. So that's definitely one of our big goals for the season.
Pepper Tree is pretty unique because it's flat and fast. The only other course that we have that's flatter and faster is Woodbridge. There's very few hills. You go up 2 small hills made of concrete, and it's just a real good chance to test yourself, get practice going faster, and it sets a good trajectory for the rest of the season in racing.
I knew that the other teams in the division weren't as strong as we were, in my opinion, so I was
I knew that if I just run my race and run my time and just pass people, then it'll be one step closer to a league title.
The Pepper Tree meet is really half of the equation. If you can win at Pepper Tree and then win at league finals, you win the whole thing. So obviously league finals is the priority, but we really just wanted to make a statement to the other teams in the league.
Cooper and I got to a lead to start off with, and we just stuck with it with Oliver, who runs for Thousand Oaks. We were just going 1, 2, 3 throughout the whole time.
The race itself was really fast, faster than last year.
Every meet matters. You're gonna race the way you prepare. And even though Pepper Tree is not a meet that's going to make or break the entire season, if we show up and we're lazy about how we go about our warm-ups or we don't race our hardest, then what's to say that we won't do the exact same thing when we get to more important races later down the line?
At the end of the day, we did our job. We scored first as a team.
I was really happy because I really wanted to get that league title, especially with our team. We really deserve that league title. And one step closer to the league title, all of our hard work is being paid off.
I saw the scores. The scores showed that we just absolutely dominated that race. It made me realize like our potential to go through the season, the end of the season, and then through the postseason. And like our potential was all the way up there.
Looking at Clovis.
Besides the fact that we all got sick and we all suffered from that, I mean, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a ton of fun with everyone at that house. That was probably one of the most fun experiences I've ever had with the cross-country team. Just all of us together for 3 days in that house. It was a lot of fun. We played games, we ate together. The entire team bonded, not just the boys' team in the boys' house, but like the girls' team when they come over, we all had meals together. We all bonded.
Cross-country prom is where one boy is set up on quote-unquote date, but it's a dinner really with a girl on the team.
Conrad. Okay, Brad draws. Ashland.
Yeah!
Number 2. Who's number 2? 2 is Vin. Are you writing these down?
Vin.
Oh, Vin. Vin, who would be the least comfortable pick? The most comfortable.
Oh no!
Whoa! Joella!
Oh!
I really wanted Joella to get a younger one because she was complaining about that.
I was too. Joella and Dom.
All right, who's next?
no.
Who's next? Jared is next. Please don't get. We're picking them all to the same. Oh, Walker's still on the table. Here we go.
Oh no!
Jared has Sam.
He got that last year too.
And it also depends on which girl you get. Like sometimes you get along with other girls more than others, but it's okay. You make do with what you have. And it is still really funny and it's a really good time.
Daisy, I'm with Pete. Now here to steal your heart.
Delaney, you play soccer because you look like a keeper. You go to cross-country.
Megan, I know you like One Piece, but can you be the missing piece to my heart? Ashley,
I knew it!
cross-country prom with me?
There we go.
Boo! And I know I'm not as fine as Justin Tella, but Joella.
Be my date because I think you're like today's date. 10 out of 10.
That's the best one! That's the best one!
You have to go to dinner with them. If it's at a restaurant or a house, you have to go to dinner with them, sit next to them, try to have a conversation with them. And with a bunch of cross-country kids, it's really funny just because it's just everything you would think it would be and more. It's hilarious just how awkward some kids get and how weird and funny the conversations escalate just based on that. It's a weird experience, but it's really funny and I'm happy we do it.
So I got pretty sick. We call it Jarrett 24. I was hacking up along, so I went up to Clovis. Coach decided that I shouldn't run because he was worried about my bronchioles getting more inflamed.
Cooper was sick, Arize was gone.
I think it's easy to accept the invitation, like you were saying, to kind of back off and be like, oh man, like we don't have all of our runners. Like it can be easy to settle, but like no matter what challenge you're in, no matter what adversity you're faced with, like you always have to give your best Anytime you have that opportunity to run a race, it's like you really have to take the responsibility of like, I may not get this opportunity anymore. And especially for me being a senior, it's like every single race I run in this cross-country season is going to be my last. So it's like I'm not accepting any invitation to back off because like this is my last chance.
On your marks. Here we go, the Clovis Invitational Rob Brenner Boys Championship race, and no one's being shy. We're going out hard. Yeah, you better start making your way across the creek right now if you hope to get on the course when they come by. It's a great field. 4 of the top #1 seeds in the state of the 5 divisions in this race here today. And Prater, the top team from Oregon in this race. So it's, again, you won't see all these schools in the same race now as we get to go into divisions later on into the year. And 4:41 at that first mile for this group that's relatively conservative. That's why everybody's still in it. Miles Cook, Sacred Heart Cathedral leading.
Like there's so many nuances to that course, like between like the turns, the hills, the straightaways, the downhills. Like you have to figure out, okay, where am I going to kick? Where am I going to get in position?
All the players right in there. Liam Zadorian, Brady Anderson, Matthew Oliveras, Christian Yoder, Lott, Nguyen, Quezada. 20 boys there under 4:45.
It's just, it's such a unique course. We've never seen anything like it. It's flat, it's kind of hilly, it's super hilly. There's a lot of downhill, a lot of uphill, whoop-de-doos. There's everything you could ever want in a cross-country course. It's hard, and it's hard on everyone, which I feel like is the beauty of it. It can target everyone's strengths and everyone's weaknesses. It's the most balanced, amazing course that you can have.
I got a pretty big PR, and I think Josh and Vin did well as well. They didn't accept any invitation to do worse just because, you know, the full team wasn't there. We can do it with the team or without the team. Sure, it's a motivator with the whole team there, but you kind of have to look at other options of motivation. I know that I can rely on the Lord to help me when I'm struggling, whether that be with running or anything at all, really. I can rely on Him, pray to Him, instead of just having to be confined with myself and just be with myself. I know that there's someone greater in the Lord to help me, you know, when I'm not doing well, or even when I'm doing well, to praise Him.
Our teammate Josh prays for us before every race, and I don't know. And when you're on a line with 200 kids running against the fastest fields in California and probably in the nation, it just kind of brings it all together. It just reminds you why you're doing this, reminds you why you're here, and just calms you down.
Without him, I don't think I'll be as good as I am currently, because he plays a central role in my athletics. He allows me to do all these things and to have the strength. Even during the hard workouts, even during when I don't want to, when I'm unmotivated, he's there to give me the strength to be motivated and to help me be great in my athletic career. I usually pray for strength and courage and determination to finish the race and finish the race as fast as I can before the race. And I feel like God just keeps pushing me, because I always feel like I want to quit, but God's there just to lift me up and just keep pushing me to the finish.
I raced the Ventura County Champs just with Arize and Vin. I don't know how they did. I know as an individual, I did very poorly, because I got this nasty, nasty cough. I mean, I trained through the entire thing, but I mean, even right now when I'm doing this interview, I'm on day 58 of coughing whenever I run. So when it was during its peak, it was just, I was not getting the oxygen that I need to during a race, so I didn't perform my best.
For me, it was like just good workout just to kind of see where I was at. It was so difficult. It's like Clovis, it's like Woodward Park, but with a lot more hills, and the competition was fierce there too.
I think I stayed up a little late, like around 12 or 11:30 that night prior, so I kind of just winged it and I see how it went. I was really tired, but also I did pretty decent.
I still got all county first team at that meet, but I think I could have performed much better. I did worse than the previous year, but that kind of stuff just happens during running, so.
It was just hard for me because I'm still trying to build up, but it was a good stepping block, and I'm going to take that experience and I'm just going to try to do the best for myself and my capability going into this postseason, especially a course like league finals where there's hills like the county race. I mean, there's just big hills, big downhill. You need to be able to take advantage of those. find ways to thrive in those difficult situations. So I'm trying to take that experiences from county and how I didn't really face those adversities and try to propel myself into a better situation for the postseason.
But honestly, it was a really nice course, really scenic course. Like the hills and all that stuff, it was pretty balanced in my opinion.
The cost stopped being a factor once I gave it a couple weeks. I mean, I trained through the whole thing, but just time made it no longer a factor. Even if I'm coughing still, it's just my aerobic system doesn't feel trashed. And I don't know, I'm not gonna stop training when I'm feeling sick because I'm obsessive like that. So I guess it's my own fault, but I'm also not gonna stop running, so.
I would say the hardest part about being a runner is just the consistency you have to improve. You have to show up every day having a positive mindset and wanting to get better. You just can't miss workouts, you can't miss practices, because if you do that, then you just won't be improving, and the person next to you is going to be improving while you're stagnating. So I'll just say that constant consistency is what gets you to that next place.
Discipline. If you don't have enough discipline, then you're just not going to get through all the workouts, you're not going to get through all the runs. You're eventually going to like give up, run out of energy, and just completely fall apart.
I would say you really need a team to be with you at all aspects during running, just whether it's just an easy recovery run to the races. They're your support staff, they help you a lot. When you're grinding during a race, you're in a really tough spot with physically, just remembering that you're doing this for the team and just remembering you're doing it for the guys.
Especially with Yoder. Yoder and I are always going back and forth, pushing each other. Each lap on the track during practice, at Sapui, even in the races, we're neck by neck the entire race. So without having people like those to run with, I don't think I would be where I am as a runner.
Having a team definitely helps with the running, even just for practice. Oftentimes over the summer when I'm on vacation, I have trouble staying consistent with running because I'm just on my own. But when I'm running with the team, I know that the team is expecting me to be there, so I make a point to be there, and part of it is just my own running and improving, but also just helping them run and improve themselves and motivating them.
Having a team that can crack jokes just makes me feel like I'm in a good environment, that I can run my best, and that while I can crack jokes with them, they still push me to my limits, which like very greatly impacts me in myself as a runner. Like I can be able to do my best while have a laugh with my teammates, which is like just shows the great team morale we have, like the great team spirit we have.
I mean, honestly, what I mainly call upon for like just strength and like when I'm trying to overcome adversity is just watching my teammates who are just doing better than me. That's just such a good thing to have in your life. People that are doing better than you around you, who are all trying to accomplish the same goal. It just mentally pushes you, makes you know where you need to go to build yourself up to try to get to their level. Calling upon strength from God too helps, but I mean having good teammates too, and just having people to like push you and just be there for you and always support you is massive as well. Get hyped. It's gonna be a good workout, and I'm already tired. So 2 mile pace, right, Coach Mitchell? Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Do we want to just do line runs, or do we want to like do what we usually do, which is like do line run till like 75 to go?
I think we have to do a line.
Well, we don't need to speed up, the thing is, because it's only 68s.
Yeah, it's
so.
not 68s are pretty easy.
Should we try to pace them like perfect?
Yes. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
It's so important, like especially 1K repeats on the track really helped me like translate all of my fitness and strength into cross country, like having those fast twitch muscles a little bit, being able to have good turnover. It really translates well to beating out your opponents.
Perfect.
Say something, Ben.
That was on the money.
On the money.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, don't you lead?
Going through the 200, I think if we just keep like 33s, we should be good. Because that felt good.
I just felt smooth.
Yeah.
We need to stay on it in the next like 100 because then we die off a little bit. 5.
That was last year.
We never did anything but lifted weights, ran consistently, and did threshold work. We'd probably still be in the hunt most of the time. But we begin to introduce some other components as the year goes on. We do get to ramp it up, and there is a stair-stepping to the final run. We do try to, we're obviously addressing the speed, running economy, and the anaerobic hormones as they come along. But we kind of come through a 5-phase project that transitions into the championship phase, being November, where the hay's in the barn, the work's been done. At that point, we're still running a fair amount of miles. We're still doing what we've been doing well, but we don't have to do it as much because the focus is on the racing. And so we'll do some race pace stuff, but it's not as exhaustive. So the work is progressive until early school year. We adjust to going to school, and then we get into that race phase and begin to refine what has been built.
And the coach would say, like a wind-up toy. That's how I want you to be, not loafing.
And then we get into the school year, and that's when we start adding in the interval stuff. Those are the 5 by mile, the 7 by 1K, eventually the 400s. And that helps us. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know when we start adding speed, everything kind of clicks. The aerobic base that we've built, getting our body's ability to process oxygen really well, it then transfers over really well to when we start moving faster, we start going and training how we will race, running that pace, and it makes it easier when we get to the big races to be able to put down a hard kick, start gapping people in that last mile.
I'm cooked. 3.
That is a flex, the biggest flex. I don't care if you can run a 350 mile, but if you can run a 68.00 pacing a workout, that's more impressive than a 350.
True. Really asserts your dominance.
Earn yourself a scholarship,
You
son.
can go to any school in the country if you can just pace pretty much.
That's how you break them.
3, 2, 1.
It just getting comfortable running fast. We build the foundation, and that's kind of the roof of the house. It finishes off the puzzle. We're trying to build towards that all year. We try to touch on it at different times, but in the postseason, it's just that refinement of running fast and recovering, running fast and recovering. Championship racing's fast, and so you've got to be able to run fast. You have to have the engine to follow it, but the two don't always connect, and so that final training in that last phase where we're really emphasizing just rolling and being comfortable and being relaxed. I think it's more than just physical, it's also kind of a mental sense that I'm comfortable being in the situation, so therefore I'm not using as much energy in the moment, and just connecting the dots between all that work and being the sharpest we can be.
15.
Cooper, count us down.
10.
This is the last one, right?
Yeah.
Just keeping it consistent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like when you're reading it feels
Nobody pass. Wind it down. Good job.
This is the best team we've had in school history, and we are going to do great things going into this postseason. And I hope we have great things going to your guys' senior year. As our seniors graduate, this is our last year to really do something special for at least a while for Oaks Christian, because we don't get a lot of guys like this. Getting 5 guys at one school like Oaks Christian is super difficult. It hasn't happened in 25 years, and I don't imagine it's going to happen for a while. So getting these titles, getting these wins, getting these victories, building off each other, and this community that we built is super special. I hope we continue to do our best with the situation we have.
League finals was like really fun and also very important. We knew that this was kind of our first postseason race, or at least getting kind of that feeling. So we wanted to make sure we gave a hard effort. We wanted to make sure that we, we're in position in the race. We wanted to obviously win and get that first league finals title in school history. That was really important for us.
That hill was dangerous. That hill was, it was a quarter mile of just like straight up and downhill. It was like a perfect slope.
There's sharp turns that go downhill, sharp turns that go uphill. You're just getting thrown around the entire time, and it's super fun, especially with you have to go up, probably one of the biggest hills we have to go up for any of our races, and then you have to come right back down it, and then finish super strong on the track, which is just such a fun way to race, in my opinion.
And so, yeah, just kind of getting the feeling of the postseason, kind of a little bit of a preview is definitely what league finals is like. And then as soon as I hit coming off the curve, I just gassed it, gave it everything I had. He kind of responded because he saw me sprinting, but then I knew like, man, like I've been in the weight room, I've been training for moments like this, so I just got into another gear and just finished the race and ended up beating him. But that was a great moment. It felt like all of the things I've been working towards, like all of my fitness was really starting to show, so I was proud of that moment.
One for 33 there. Thank you.
Yeah, seeing our emotion with Coach, it was honestly, it was, like you said, pretty rare. Like, seeing him so happy, like 33 years without a league title for boys cross country, honestly. It's just being in the history books is just really nice. It's just being cemented the Oaks legacy, just having the thought of you being remembered in Oaks forever. It's just really good. It's just a really good feeling to have. I'm also just really excited for mostly Coach because he's never had this before. And just seeing him with that joy and excitement just made the whole team excited.
We were ranked 4th in the section and 6th in the state going into CIF Southern Section Finals. All the write-ups were, apparently, I mean, I don't read this stuff, but apparently we were not really considered to be a factor in the postseason.
boys Division 4 race now through the first 800 meters. The duo of Yoder and McGee of Oaks Christian have taken out the pace with the J. Sarah boys, Newman and Airy, and they're right there with them. So this is going to be a good battle here. Boys Division 4. Making the turn at 1,200 meters, Christian Yoder and Cooper McGee, the seniors of Oaks Christian, pushing that early pace. But looks like Friedel and Newman and Airy all right up in there from J. Sarah. Oaks Christian were 9th in the state meet, 6th last year in this race. Both of our Money League champions this year. Those two schools taking this early pace. So between J. Sarah and Oaks Christian, they have 9 of the top 10 runners there. Needless to say, those are the first two schools locked in this battle. J. Sarah and Oaks Christian. Then we go to Palos Verdes, St. Francis, Foothill Tech, Corona Del Mar, Notre Dame, Harvard Westlake. Newman leading the chase group here. He's got the white headband on. He's leading that chase group. And we'll take pictures here of our top 15 boys D1. A great race going on here in D4. Looks like Oaks Christian at 2 miles had a slight lead over J. Sarah, 56-61. Yoder finishing strong. Christian Yoder of Oaks Christian coming down the line. This will be Douglas will be in the Division 4 CF Championship. Yoder and McNee. Here comes Ari and Martin of St. Francis. Battle now, Oaks Christian and J. Sarah. Oaks Christian the maroon tops, J. Sarah the all black. We're still at just 15:45. Looks like Oaks Christian and J. Sarah both coming with number 5, and Oaks Christian will be the first team with 5. And Ben Kruger of Oaks Christian, he moved up 15 spots between the 2 mile and the finish, giving Oaks Christian that great top 5. Looks like they're going to be our winners here now. Scoring is fluid. We've got Oaks Christian at 24. J. Sarah and Foothill Tech is the only 3 with 5 across. But looks like Oaks Christian.
In the last mile, Ben Kruger picked up 15 spots in 18 points from J. Sarah. Wait, that's how you finish. That's how you finish, baby.
And their time, Oaks Christian 77:39. That would be the fastest team time ever now. New course record.
After we won CF Southern Section Finals, we didn't dwell on it long. Sure, it was the first one in school history, but as that famous Kobe Bryant quote that Coach gave to us, the job's not finished. We were not done. It was kind of, yeah, that was great that happened, but we can celebrate that later. We need to focus on this next meet because you never know what can happen between next week. J. Sarah could rally and beat us, and we needed to make sure that we were on the top of our game to make sure that we secured the state title.
Yeah, for me, it was like I deserve to be here. That's the thing I always told myself. Like I've really worked my way up kind of in the competition since sophomore year when I came here, and I haven't always been, you know, even close to the top guys. And so the fact that I'm starting to approach that realm now where I'm like either in the top or close to the top group of guys in a race, I always have to remind myself I deserve to be here. I'm just as strong as so many of these guys. And so just keep telling myself that over and over. Eventually, you know, you start to believe it and you start to run that way, and it just allows you to perform better for your team.
Yeah, Coach, during this whole postseason run has always been saying job's not finished.
And, that couldn't be more true. Even though we won league and then going into prelims, we dominated that. We just couldn't be complacent. Even though we knew what we were capable of, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you're capable of unless you actually perform and run fast.
Those are big points. Jay Sarah and Oaks Christian's third man coming in. Fourth man for Oaks Christian and fifth man for Oaks Christian.
But then I realized, man, like, okay, we're all together. And so I was super proud of them, like, to step up and to be able to run with me like that. Both, like, Arize's never run the course before. Vin had a massive PR. And so I knew, because the spread was so tight, like, I knew we had it. So I was so proud of them, honestly.
Come on, baby! Come on, yeah! Let's go, boy! Come on! Let's search on ready, baby! Come on! Come on! Come on! Let's go! Would you hug Cooper? Cooper, come here! Hug Cooper! Go,
I was so proud. I knew this is something we've been working for a long time, but for me and Yoder and Cooper, like, we've been working at this for 3-4 years. So to finally be able to do it, especially in our senior year, is just super special. And then for Coach, like, he's been working on this like longer than we've even been alive, like by a long shot.
Obviously you want to win a state title. It's not something I'd done in my coaching career on the boys' side, but with this group, to see the kind of the year by year and even week by week this season build towards that moment that they were ready and they were prepared. You just really wanted it for this particular group of guys with the buy-in and the brotherhood that they had. That's why I think I was more excited going into that moment.
In the Bible it says, suffering produces endurance, endurance produces character, and character produces hope, and it will not put us to shame. So the thing that a lot of people don't realize is just how much character you gain from this sport.
Yeah, running is the journey, not the destination. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in sport that, accomplishment. We look at the banners. Those are great affirmations of the work that's been done, but it's the journey along the way. And that journey is an opportunity to learn life. We're living life in the practices and the running and the time together, and that's where we're developing the habits and behaviors, the values, the character qualities. That's what we want to get out of it, because at the end, at some point this season ends or this career ends. You know, what do you do the next morning? You know, we win the championship, and then what's the next morning? Well, we got up and we kept on running. And so it's the life lessons that we can get out of it. You know, our identity is not in the results. Our identity is in that process and who we represent. And hopefully our identity is in Christ at the end of the line. Our identity has something to do with the camaraderie and the cohesion and the culture of the team.
Well, in the summer, you were saying it's just building that base, so I just want to say it's all about that base, no workouts.
So if you had to describe cross country in one word, what would it be?
Cut. I don't know. Wait, I gotta think this through. I gotta think. Yeah, I know, but I haven't thought. That is the hardest question.
I'm gonna get a little lick on that. It's on tape. It's on tape. It's on tape.
Get up close, get up close, get up close. Fingers in, fingers in. There you go.
See, we see the diversity.
All in, all in.
All the hero we can get for the dog, guys.
Yes, yes, yes. Milk it every second.